Alrighty, guys, welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So we've been having a ton of fun within OddApp, so I hope a lot of you guys are going to make it over. For those of you that are still left on Discord, don't forget you could always DM me at any time. I'm still there servicing other people. We're still waiting on a lot of our other shrimp to jump aboard. So don't worry, guys. I'm not leaving you behind. I'm still here, okay? I'm also going to continue using that Discord server as a way to put out news bulletins and things of that nature, still keep putting my data in there. And, we still look forward to seeing you on OddApp. Don't forget, guys, instead of you having to sign up this Patreon, put your digital wallet connected to this Discord and getting your NFT stolen or your assets stolen, you could just go to the one-stop shop solution here at OddApp, sign up to OddApp, and you'll be with our community conversations and you'll learn with us. We talk about over 100 picks, stocks, crypto, precious metals, American history. We talk about just about everything there. And it's available on all Apple devices, Google devices, whether it be a phone or tablet. This has never been done before. So we're really proud of our team. We're proud of our community, and we're going to continue growing. So, so before I get into this, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like the video for us here at MYC Network, and let's keep making it happen. Okay. So, I wanted to talk a little bit today about the sentiment. The sentiment right now is short-term expectations. And, it's really, frightening to me that we still have communities out there that are pushing this short-term expectation when we are literally at the very end of the cliff. Okay. But after this cliff, we're going to be in better places, So I do think that, I'm optimistic for the market in the long run, but I still think people need to slow down DCA, and keep in mind, everyone has their own bet to make. This is not financial advice. You guys do you, and I'll do me, and we'll see who comes out on top, But, I do feel based on what's going on in the market, we do see too much short-term expectations, and I do think that spells out for disaster because after you jump off of a cliff of a bear cycle, okay, or if you're in a bear cycle or you're at the very bottom of one, that does not mean that you're going to go shooting straight up. The bull cycle is not going to be, go down, then go back up. It's not going to be go down and then we wait a couple days or so and then it just shoots back up like a giant spike. It doesn't happen that way. So, a bull cycle, in my perspective, is, well, I feel like we're in a bigger bull cycle, but, I'll go into detail in a little bit on that. But here's what I really think is happening or where we are. Okay. 2020 was the beginning of the biggest new bull cycle. Okay. And I understand that all last year we had a big correction. However, I do feel in the grand scheme of things that we are in a bigger bull cycle. Okay. I think the bull cycle that we are in is going to last between 2020 and 2028. That's how I feel. But let's go by the mainstream narrative, okay, of where we are, at a micro level. So if you take a look at it from a micro level, I do feel like we are in a bear cycle of where we are from that last big uptick in 2021, okay? I understand that. I get it 100%, okay? But right now, what's happening is we're going through a bigger correction, but when you're in a bear cycle, typically you're going to experience a longer sideways trend. It might go down further, but again, somehow, some way, we've lost touch of where we came from. I keep telling people to not forget about how or why we were so successful, okay? There's a big, big reason why we are successful today and why we continue to grow and why we continue to grow our community. We continue to deliver software, we deliver products, we deliver services, and we're going to continue going from here. There's a reason why we're successful. And the reason why is because the doctrine that we had when we all first met was only buying. That's the only thing we're going to do because we know we're in a bear cycle. So we're going to keep collecting for a year, 2 years, and we'll wait for the next big cycle. That doctrine, for some reason, is gone. I don't understand why people have this short-term expectation as if we are not in a bear cycle, as if you didn't just get 95% losses on most of your MSM trash picks all year, And mind you, I still want to bring up MYC Community's complete success because you have to really think about it. while everybody was snorkeling in Cosmos with over 95% losses, we actually had 4 2x multipliers and 2 3x multipliers on Bluezil, all within the first 1 to 6 month of the year. Then we found Arc Block and a variety of other picks that we actually did really well on. We did well with Koval, Tone, VGX. I know a lot of you loved that very fast 5x we got with VGX. And this all happened over a course of a very bearish cycle where people were snorkeling. They lost almost 100% of their portfolios. They were silly asses giving away their custody to all these wallets and all these different, mechanisms out there that, and here's another thing too. These were all mainstream picks that we were stupid for not getting into. Isn't that funny how that works? How every single time that we introduce a new doctrine or we introduce a way to strategize, it's completely the polar opposite of what you experience within the sector. However, we're the dummies, right? We're the stupid asses. But as you could see, they have not produced anything. They have not created anything. And now they're snorkeling, and they're so desperate now that they're trying to push this short-term expectation that they're going to get massive gains, and it's just not going to happen. We are not in the same market. So, again, let's go back to this. If you are in a community that's pushing short-term expectations at the worst goddamn time in crypto history, I don't feel bad for you when you go to zero again, like you were the entire year this year. There's a huge reason why we perform way better than a lot of these other sectors or a lot of these other communities. And it's because of this kumbaya bullshit. The kumbaya bullshit of the crypto sector is exactly why people get wrecked, because nobody wants to admit that a model is unsustainable. Okay. You can have the entire world love a project, love everything about it, but if it's not sustainable, the growth of the token won't be sustainable either. And, what's funny about, 95% of the crypto sector is most of them are communists. In fact, I love to say that 95% of the crypto sector are full of communists. And the reason why is because 95% of the crypto sector thinks that everything should be free. That's what's funny, because it's like, okay, and let me put this into perfect, viewpoint for you guys of what I'm talking about, because I know you guys understand what I'm talking about, but I know there's a lot of people out there still snorkeling and still drinking Kool-Aid directly from their backpacks. Okay, look, it doesn't matter how much hype is behind whatever staker ecosystem there is or whatever staker coin that you are playing with. Okay, it does not matter. It could be 1%. But if there's no value creation happening that's going to generate revenue or generate a sustainable business model, where's the company going to get its revenue? Where is its company going to get its revenue? It has to sell its tokens, So, and look, I'm not against admins that do this. XRP, Ripple, you could take a look at a lot of the bigger companies out there. They need to sell their tokens in order to create revenue. I get it, 100%. And I don't think they're evil for this. And I don't down Brad Garlickhouse for this either. I get it, 100%. However, if these admins don't start creating a business model to crypto integration and utilize their currencies for something, and not then they're always going to be, pretty much stuck into this point where it's like, they can only sell the tokens that they have. So that's why it's important that when you're going into Web3, that you don't have a Web 2 mentality, because Web 2 mentalities are just driven by the hype. They're driven by the communities or how much population is in them. They're driven by audience numbers or follower counts. Guys, we've already seen that all this shit is fake. We've already seen a lot of silly ass influencers out there think that, influence is going to carry their pick and the pick went to zero, and this is a false expectation that the audience has, but also a false expectation that some influencers think they have, like this, some sort of power they think they have and they don't, and it's just silly because, a lot of these things are all predicated on this free ideology. Like, oh, a business is just going to work because a bunch of people like it. No, it's not. That's not the way it works. You need to have a proper business model integration. So that's the point. If you don't have a sustainable business model, and it could be a good idea, guys. And keep in mind, I've seen so many projects out there, good admins, good idea, good community, good everything, but it's not going to make a difference if that company is not producing a service, it's not producing a product that creates value, that creates demand, that will entice that market to generate some sort of value outside of the token. Okay, so we have to keep this mentality in mind even more so as we go into this new paradigm shift, because Web 2.0, or I'm sorry, Web 2 investors are going to zero. Okay, and they've been going to zero all year. And the reason why is because a lot of the companies they were investing in did not have a sustainable business model, and that's why they're not going to do good going forward. They're going to go back to these old ponds thinking, well, I did good last cycle. Hopefully I'm going to do good with this one. Clearly, no, you're not. You're going to get wrecked again. And the reason why is because you continuously think everything is going to be hype driven into a lot of these, Ponzi type of token systems. You're going to need companies that are going to produce a product and a service and then have some sort of integration. You're going to need some sort of something in that realm in this next paradigm shift. You're going to need more than just marketing. You're going to need more than just hype. In fact, I think we need more companies that give you a software or give you a technology that you get to use yourself every fucking day. You get to use it in real life. A lot of people sit there and they tell me, oh, but Dion, Quant has all the utility. It has this and it has that. It has interoperability. There's no such thing as interoperability right now. There's no blockchain network that can communicate with another yet. Okay, there's mechanisms in the background that swap for you, do a transfer, but no blockchain between one and another communicate. It's just not there yet. Okay, on top of that, when it comes to a lot of the features that a lot of these companies talk about, the investors are just like, oh, it sounds smart, sounds cool, but you're not using it. You can't use it. Well, it's for enterprise, so clearly I'm just too small. I can't use it. No, fuck off. You should be able to use every little bit of technology that's offered by the company, and that should drive more interest for how viable the company really is. And that's the point. You want to be able to use the technology. Arc block ABT is severely undervalued, and it's something that I feel will be popular later. And here's what's funny about a lot of people that talk to me about different picks based on hype and things of that nature. I'm like, well, here's the thing. If you're buying something based on today's hype, you're going to zero. Okay. You need to be buying things that are based on the hype of tomorrow, not based on the hype of today, because you're already too late. Oh man, I'm late. Yeah, you are late because you're buying something right now based on what was told to you today. If you're in the right places, you should be buying things with a full expectation of, in 1-2 years, or 3 years, this will do really well, or whatever the case. You need to have a longer perspective on your time frames, because if you're buying something today that's based on short-term gains or short-term, action, then you're already lost, and I get it. Look, there's short plays. I love short plays, however, we are not in short play territory anymore. I feel like a lot of us need to get back to basics and get back to this doctrine where it's just like, we're buying something and that's all we're doing. And we're going to make our bags. We're going to set our bags, move on to the next one, set our bags, move on to the next one, set our bags, move on to the next one, whatever we need to do, whatever those plays may be. I'm a person that wants just 3 hardcore picks and maybe 5 set and forgets, something simple, but I have a year, 2 years to do this. And I'm happy with that. I think I could collect a lot of money and do that. But a lot of people don't want to hear that because they're too busy hoping to God that their $500 bag is going to work, or that their $5,000 bag is going to work. Why are you stopping the work? Why are you stopping the hustle and waiting for someone else to do it for you? I think a lot of people need to get back to work. I think a lot of people need to start hustling again, because this is the time to build. You want to build during this time because we have downtime. There's nothing going on. It's either stacking or building. Stacking and building sounds better to me, because I could stack now and I could build things and I could build better products and services, because too many people are trying to make a fortune or make retirement on today's crowd. You shouldn't be working or expectating or like expecting extreme success on today's crowd. Okay. That's not what you should be doing as an investor, as an admin, as a builder, as anything. You should be building and doing everything you do today based on tomorrow's crowd that is coming. Because what's happening right now is there's barely anybody in the sector. There's very small amounts of people in the sector. But who gives a shit? That's good. See, the problem during last bull cycle and the reason why we killed it far more than a lot of other communities out there is because a lot of the communities out there loved saturated picks. They loved going to any place they felt had population. And when they do that, that's why a lot of them lost 95% plus, because they had to trust way more hands that got there before they did. And if you're an investor, and it's funny because I see a lot of influencers and a lot of other stupid asses out there that pretend that they're not cancel culture type people and all this other nonsense, but they are. But again, I keep hearing this narrative from seasoned traders that somebody as an investor selling for a profit is evil, and I really don't think that's evil. I think it's literally what you're supposed to do. So we got to get that narrative out of people's heads too. I saw some influencer or whatever talking shit about a hedge fund manager, that basically manages bigger amounts of assets and trying to make him out to be evil because his company took profit. And I'm like, that's kind of what a private equity firm is. When you guys sit there and you propagate how great a pick is because it has institutional investment or it has this capital firm investing and this capital firm investing, well, why do you think they're in there? To give you shit for free? No, because they're there first. They're early adopters. They're early investors. So they're going to reap the reward on retail at some point in the future, because that's what investors do. I hate to be the person that gives you the truth like so badly, but it is what it is. I don't understand why, cognitive dissonance happens when people realize that you're in business to make money. This is what's funny about 95% of the communists in the sector, because 95 of them really are. They're sitting there saying, well, but Dion, it should be free. This is bullshit, So this is what's funny about the staker guys too, because it could be 1%. I don't care. It doesn't matter what percentages. Is the company creating value to replace the liquidity that's coming out in interest? No, none of them are. In fact, zero. None of them are. Every company, every token that offers staking has nothing, has literally zero business model to value capture and to allocate that value back into the ecosystem that was given out in free interest. I am so sorry to burst this bubble, but a lot of these companies are going to zero. A lot of these communities that worship staker tokens are going to zero. I understand the mechanism can be flawless, and you can have a perfectly good machine working and doing exactly what it's doing. It could have 100% uptime. We can have all the great things about it. It works flawlessly. It works exactly the way it's supposed to work. However, you could have a continuous engine moving and creating interest and giving you interest, but the liquidity is not being replaced. There needs to be a business model that creates value, that creates demand, that creates consumers, so that way that value is created and allocated into the ecosystem. So that way the liquidity has something backed. It has backing. It has enough backing so that way it could happen. If you just have a mechanism that works, but there's nothing putting value in, eventually that pool dries up. And that's the problem. And people say, well, if it's small enough, if it's 1% or it's 5%, then time will be okay because enough investors, one after another, will come in where it'll make sense. No, it still does not make sense. It could be 1%, but if there's nothing reproducing the value that's being taken out in the form of interest, then it's an unsustainable business model. You could literally say this about 100% of Cosmos projects. You could say this 100% about any coin that's offering tokens as interest, any of them, every single one of them. So if there's no value creation, then it's not sustainable in the long term. Now, am I saying that profits can't be made? Yeah, absolutely. But if you're a person that sits there and says, but Dion, I want passive income and everyone's not going to sell and it's just going to work perfect in dreamland, then okay, sure, whatever. But you still should understand that eventually that top is going to come down, So again, money can be made, but it's not about whether or not as an investor or whether or not as a trader you can make money or not at this particular level. You want to sit there as a realist and sit there and be like, it actually doesn't work. Can there be enough goofies that go in and then scale it so that way people could take a profit? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not the point. What we want to talk about here is just reality. Okay. I'm not here to demean the project. Until the crypto community has honest opinions, then we can't make companies do a better job. I need to do a better job. Other companies need to do a better job. Everyone could do a better job. And the only way we could do that is by getting feedback. OddApp is on Apple and Google. And when you launch software, and again, this happens with Twitter just recently. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Elon consistently talks about, oh, I just did an update. Or, hey, I just fixed this bug. Or, we just enhanced the speed of Twitter. Well, this is common practice when you own software because you have to have a team and you have to continue looking for any bugs or letting users tell you, hey, I found this bug, or hey, this crashed, or this slows down, or this button doesn't work. They rely on user feedback so that way they can make the app better and continue to increase user experience or continue to have a better user experience. That's the point. Okay. But like I said, feedback is what's best, because think about, like, for instance, let's not use Twitter as an example. Let's use something like us, OddApp. When we first launched the software, we went through a maintenance period and we had to find any bugs because we're polishing the finished project because it's finished. But we need the users to play with the software to give us any feedback if there's a little something that we need to polish or whatever the case. And that's the point. You're supposed to. That is normal process. Every app does it, and that's why you guys consistently need to update your apps because they find bugs or they need to enhance speed or they need to do this or that. But again, this is going back to what I was talking about. A lot of these things in the crypto sector, we need to get back to just reality. Okay. Just get back to reality. It doesn't matter if you really like the pick or not. There's a ton of guys, and I've proven this. I'm the realist when it comes to this. You guys know that I've fallen in love with so many great picks out there, and I've really loved everything about it. But the admin goes and does something stupid, or, the devs, or something happens that's fucking screwy, whatever, because and keep in mind, look, projects are projects. Not everything is a fucking scam. Sometimes teams just fail. I get that 100%. But we got to sit there and be like, we have to decide if we're going to be there for it or not, because sometimes if you get bad news, or the bad news is just like for instance, you hear somebody, they say, oh, well, I want to migrate, it's fucking red alert. We got to get out, that's different. Okay. And of course the admins, and keep in mind, there's advantages and disadvantages, there's different. See, here at MYC, I like to educate on 3 different perspectives. I like to educate from an investor's perspective, from an admin's perspective, and from a developer's perspective. And the reason why is because the developer has different interests. The admin has different interests and also different responsibilities. The investors have different responsibilities and different interests, okay? A lot of the interests of an investor are not the same interest as an admin, okay? Clearly. So, but I think that if enough people within the crypto sector understood all perspectives, they would become better investors. I think our companies would become better. I think admins would become better. I think everybody would become better. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about prosecuting and fucking executing people and share crucifying anybody. It's more about just helping the community build from within out of unity. I think constructive criticism is good too. But it's feedback. Feedback is needed, and I think that's perfect and what we need. So I think that when we're taking a look at some of these picks going forward, we have to think about everything that didn't work in the past, is my point. Okay. Because in the past, when staking first got introduced to people, everyone was very happy with it. And then it started getting to the point where we started realizing 72% APY does not make sense. You guys remember that? Everyone was really happy about these crazy APY numbers. And then as we learned, it became unsustainable, right? And then we learned about stable coins. And then we learned about this or we learned about that, and I think we need to remember these things and bring them on to our next pick. And the reason why I say this is because I see a lot of people that went through those learning experiences. They lost their over 95%. They lost their communities over 95%, but they're going back to the same places. See, usually when you fuck up or you make a misjudgment, you don't do it again. You try to make a better play, right? So, I just think that this needs to be educated out there that, we need to look at Web3 companies with a little bit more scrutiny in a way where we want to make sure that we get our own things. We could use the product, we could use the service. There's a business model that creates sustainability outside of the token marketplace. This is big things because think about it. If you want a sustainable marketplace, you're going to need a sustainable business model. Okay. So, and this was kind of funny because, I saw the Cardano founder and David the Schwartz talking about this the other day. I think they kind of got into like a little bit of drama, but I saw a particular video from David Schwartz one day talking about how he couldn't force banks and he couldn't force their partners to purchase XRP and use that to transfer things. And the reason why is because he wanted to offer them options. He says, well, I want to give them the option to use RippleNet or use our technology, and also the option to use the currency if they want. The problem is, with the community on this whole thing is because they know that they should tell them to use the currency because they want scalability. Well, David disagrees with this because it's too much self-interest. It's a conflict of interest. And because he knows that it would put the partners in a bad situation because you can't trust investors. You can't trust them because if XRP does go to $5, $10, every one of you are going to sell. And, of course, people say a bunch of stupid shit, about 589 and it'll go to $5 out of nowhere one day, all these different things. At the end of the day, no matter how many times they sit there and say, well, I'm never selling. They are going to sell. They could not even break the first ATH. And last cycle was the biggest cycle ever. And they could not hold past $2. Okay. So guys, drop all Kool-Aid immediately. Okay. You found Adult Swim here at MYC Network. Okay. We have OddApp. It's on Google and Apple Store. All right. Instead of you signing up to Patreon, instead of you signing up your digital wallet and your NFTs getting stolen and your assets getting stolen just to get into some Discord or whatever the case, you could go to the one-stop solution here at MYC Network, join OddApp, and there you go. You're right inside. It has a bunch of different features, no screenshots. The messages are encrypted. It's very secure, private, and encrypted. And that's the best part about it. Okay. So if you want to support MYC development, I would love to have you guys with us, build with us, and also continue to learn with us too. So we'd love to have you. And that way you could just go to the one-stop solution instead of downloading Discord and downloading OnlyFans and Patreon and all these different platforms. It's a one-stop shop place. So don't forget about that. I do want to talk about a few different picks. I do want to touch base on Solo and Arc Block, but I do want to touch base on a few other picks that we've been talking about in OddApp because, here at MYC, we have freedom. We're not a community that sits there and only talks and harps on one pick. And if you don't like that pick, you get thrown out. We're very agnostic with the different plays we have. We talk about different picks. And the reason why is because we want to know about them. We want to learn about the different systems that are out there because eventually, if you find something that works, it works, So Arc Block ABT is definitely, a bigger play for me for the long run. I really do like that. And I am switching my doctrine to just simply buying and only holding. We're in the situations now where whatever you do today is going to affect your life for the next 5 years. So, I've been telling people, be careful with this next 6 months because we're going to go through a crunch. We're literally about to feel the damage and the effects of the recession. We didn't feel it last year. I mean, well, some people got wrecked and annihilated in the markets, but that was because they were buying stupid ass picks. But here's the thing. For the people like us that were purchasing the right things and not getting annihilated and being locked up in all these stupid ass coins, what we were doing was making sure we kept going to the bottoms and we kept going to unsaturated marketplaces. And that's why we hedged and also multiplied a lot of our different positions. So I was happy with that. Here you're going to learn infrastructure, you're going to learn different perspectives and things of that nature. But, of course, you're going to hear about a ton of different picks from different investors around the world. So it's always nice to have diversity within our app where we could talk about not only just one damn thing every day. We want to talk about different things every day so that way we can still expand our knowledge of not only the marketplace, but how things work. Because it is still a learning experience. I feel like I bring a great deal to you guys, whether I talk about my economic forecast or my crypto knowledge, However, you guys as a community also bring a lot of value too. So, don't ever forget about that. I know I do a lot, but, I don't ever want to, pretend like it's just all me. Our community is very seasoned and I really do like learning from a lot of our people. And don't forget, we're going to have a Robert Mao interview on voice conference on OddApp on the 15th of January. So he's going to be coming, making a personal appearance. He is actually a subscriber of OddApp. So, we do have a couple admins from different projects on OddApp, along with different teams of developers on there as well. Because, yes, guys, we do have a lot of fun. We are a comedy finance network, so we are not politically correct. We're very funny about things we do. However, we do have very smart people with us, and they have a lot of knowledge and they're experts within this sector and stuff like that. But, they'd like to have fun too. But we also have a lot of people that, that build, So again, Robert Mao is going to be on voice conference with us on OddApp on the 15th. And then also we have an interview coming up on the 6th with Byte Storage, which is another Web3 project. He's going to be interviewing with us on the 6th of January. And he's going to be talking to us not only about Web3, but he's going to be talking to us about how to create successful online companies because he comes from the telecommunications sector and he is very successful. I've known him for a very long time. And, I know we like crypto a lot and stuff like that. But, don't forget, we love talking about crypto stocks, precious metals, US politics, international politics. We talk about a variety of different things that can affect the market. And part of, investing to me doesn't begin or end with just crypto. You should be learning about other talents and skills that you can acquire for your own personal sustainability because a lot of our people that did well last bull cycle, they didn't go and buy more crypto. They took profits and they went and bought companies. They went and bought land. And now a lot of those guys are with us here on OddApp and they want to share their story. They want to talk to us about what made them successful. And a lot of the companies that they created that create tax deductibles, and I like hearing stuff like that. We have a lot of guys that utilize rental companies in order to take deductions from their profit amounts, stuff of that nature, so that way they could have their own rental fleets or what have you. We have a lot of different stories that we want to share. And a lot of our leaders, I do ask a lot of you guys to come aboard or just come talk to me or DM me so that way we could give you a stage to talk to some of our other guys because a lot of our other guys are still coming up. And I know a lot of you bigger whales out there that are with us, we want to hear some of that too, so don't forget, we still got some shrimp in there that want to be just like you, or they want to be just like me or whoever, so, don't let your leadership stop at your personal development. Let's help our other guys develop too, because I feel like the more we strategize together as a network and the more we come together to understand and build each other up when it comes to skills and talents, the more successful we could be in our personal lives, not just in our crypto lives, but our real lives, So we want to make sure that we continue to nurture and grow our people, not only from a number standpoint. Okay, look, numbers are always cool. I think we have a great community here, a strong, loyal community, but we need to focus always on quality. Quality is something we always focused on because audience doesn't fucking mean shit. We want loyalty. We want the right people with us. We want people that know how to build and know how to do real things. We want people that have that eagerness to become something. And that's what we look for. And it's proven that this works better. Okay. It's proven that this works better because while everyone had these audience numbers, they didn't get the same returns. They didn't get the same calls. They didn't get the same sustainability. They didn't hedge. They lost more than 95% of the portfolios. Okay. They did not deliver software. They did not deliver a service or a product. Okay. We did all of those things with minimal audience. We did all those things with minimal hype. So again, this is why I tell our people, do not get fucking sauced by this bullshit on social media. Do not get sauced by these robots creating views, creating Twitter engagements, creating fucking likes and subscribers. It's all fucking bullshit. Because look at the failure that a lot of these people are, and look at the success that MYC community is. And that's why I want to make sure that you guys get respect, because a lot of you guys have impressed me and you guys have grown me as well. A lot of you guys have shared a lot of your wisdom with me, and I've implemented it into the way I help other people too. So, that's why whenever I have some of our meetings where I tell you guys, I'm like, it's time for a lot of you guys to take up the accountability and the responsibility of how great you guys have done all this time. There's so many people that are so contrary to the way we do things, and they are not even an ounce of our success. So you guys have credit. You guys, deserve credit, and credit's due. So that's why, I really harp on making sure that I defend you guys, and I love the funny jokes, guys. We're always funny. We love comedy. You know that, you know what I'm saying? And it's fun. But I do think that a lot of our people need to step up, keep being funny, just like me, but start fucking putting out that strong ass sharp data that I know a lot of you guys have too. I see some of you on Twitter, and I see some of you DM me on Discord, or, you're in odd app messaging me and stuff like that. And a lot of the shit you guys say is so light years ahead of normal people. And that's the point, guys. We're light years ahead of expert traders within this sector, and we have the proof. We have the results to stand on that. So I want you guys to wear your badges so much more prouder, because you've proven people wrong. You've proven that social delinquents can do well, and you guys could do really good. Not everybody is corporate, and a lot of you guys are corporate. We have a lot of people either from MicroStrategy or, some of these other conglomerates like Microsoft, or whatever the case. But, just your character has nothing to do with your talents. If you're always going to be talented and you're always going to be cool and all these different things, and it doesn't matter the way you are character wise, it just matters about how hard you work and the results you produce. And you guys have done that. So, you owe it to yourselves, guys, to be proud of how far ahead we are than a lot of other people out there. Okay. Let me go through your comments real quick. And then we'll keep it rolling. But again, guys, I would love to see a lot of you on OddApp, keep supporting MYC, keep supporting me, and we're going to continue building this out. I want to continue doing more for this and creating our own platform where one day, instead of streaming here, we could stream on there, and maybe we could get other content creators on there and create other streams of revenue for our people. There's bigger things that we could do in the future. And what you're looking at, even as a completed project, all right, OddApp is complete. A lot of people love it because it's private, it's secure, it's encrypted. You can't screenshot. No more bullshit like we experienced on Discord anymore. They're not going to steal IP or data and all that other stuff. Okay, we have a great place now. However, there is so much more that we could build because it's ours. I could do anything. I could build this out into something larger for everybody. So let's continue building this and keep doing well, because no one else is doing it like us. Okay. So I'd love to have you guys on there. You guys probably sit at more than 23 USD in losses on your portfolio. A lot of you I know invest thousands of dollars into stupid ass meme coins. Okay. So I don't want to hear the bullshit excuses. So guys, I want to see you guys in there. For some of you that reached out to me, guys, don't worry. We're going to continue going and I'm going to continue being here for you. I'm not going to leave anybody behind. I still get DMs from you guys and I'm still here to talk to you. So don't ever feel that way. Let's go through your comments real quick. Gomes, one of my favorite Indians. Gomes is on OddApp, and he is literally fucking hilarious. But he's super, super experienced within the sector. You know, more so than he gives himself credit for, I feel. So, and we're gonna bring up one of the picks that you had brought up to me. It's an OG pick. But I do think it'll do well as we go into this next cycle. So, you know, but we're going to keep an eye on it because I would really like a nicer entry. But, you know, I think even at the price it's at now is pretty nice. But I'll go through the comments first, and then we'll talk about picks, okay? Because typically by now, all the people that don't deserve to be here and listen to these picks should be gone by now. So Noah Ali says MYC to the moon. Lo Wang says, what up? New year, new job, time to accumulate. Correct. Investor Mike says sell wife in 2023. That is correct, sir. Let's sell all of them. Fernando said that's game over. Solo to the moon. Correct. Tomo says hello. What up, bro? Vision says people are crazy not to be buying this dip. ABT, Solo, MYC, OddApp. It's fucking over. Absolutely, guys. I think Solo is worth a very good pump, and I think it'll happen before the end of January, and I think we should take advantage of that opportunity if it does come up, okay? Long term for me, for the next couple years, you know, I'm going to be collecting Arc Block ABT. There's a variety of other companies that I really want to pay attention to and collect. 3 hardcore picks and then 5 set and forgets for me personally. And I got 2 years to do so. A lot of our guys, some guys want to do 20, some guys only want to do 1, some people want to do 2, whatever, you know, up to you guys. Everyone makes their own bet, you know. What we want to do is educate on the infrastructure. We want to educate from an admin perspective, developer perspective, and an investor perspective. And then at the same time, talk about a variety of universal picks out there. You know, we want to have that a nice, secure investors forum type of feel. Okay. However, we do want to make sure that, you know, we take advantage of these short plays. I do think there's going to be short plays in between. You know, I don't think that they're as big as people want to make them, but, you know, short plays will exist in the bear cycle. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And a lot of you guys have already experienced some decent gains. You know, just because it's not a 2x doesn't mean it's bad. You know, 50% gain is still good too. Imagine if you got a 50% gain on 100 grand. It makes a lot of sense, right? You know, what if you got 50% gain on $1,000? It's still pretty decent, you know? So, you know, don't get too greedy, guys. I want you to still take a look at some of these opportunities out there. There is growth to be had. You know, you just got to make sure that you position yourself right, you know, and all those things. And then keep in mind, look, it doesn't matter how educated you get in the sector. You know, markets are unpredictable. You know, you can mitigate your risk at good levels. You know what I'm saying? You know, education will help mitigate risks. Not 100%, but, you know, I do think that it'll help you tremendously, you know. I do want to bring up the fact that Tron TRX flipped Polkadot, which is a no product, no service ass blockchain that does nothing and has produced nothing and took millions of dollars and has produced nothing. But, you know, let's go back to the fact that Tron TRX is going to be the #1 top performing layer 1 as we go into this next cycle, because it's better than 2.0 ETH. It's deflationary like 2.0 ETH, and it's faster, or I'm sorry, not faster, but as fast as XRP with virtually barely any gas fees. In fact, you can actually get 0 gas fees if you were to stake it onto the network or whatever the case. And it doesn't mean that you stake a bunch of it, just a little bit or whatever, you know. But I do think Tron TRX is going to outperform in multipliers, okay, than any layer 1 company out there. Because think about it, it's 5 cents. So if it goes up or whatever the case, you know, as we go into the future, you know, it's going to have some decent multipliers. Look, I don't care if XRP is 25 cents or 30 cents, okay? It's still only 2x or 3x of a dollar, you know. But if I were to buy Tron TRX at 5 cents and it goes up to 25 cents or 30 cents, those are still good multipliers. So, you know, I don't care about the hype. I don't care about the brand. I just want to make sure that everything is right marketplace wise. I want to make sure that it's a decentralized marketplace. I want to make sure that the admin doesn't hold a majority of the tokens. But I also want to make sure that if at entry, there's good opportunity for multipliers, because that's what I'm here for. I want multipliers. So that's just something I like to think about. Typically, I'd like to see, just as a rule of thumb, and there's no right or wrong way. There's no rule to this. This is just my personal opinion. I feel that all admins should hold 30% of the token supply or less at all times, or somewhere in there, because it provides a better, more fair trading environment for the investors. I feel like it's more fair. It makes it a better level playing field, because it kind of puts the admin on the rope a little bit, because it's like, all right, if you reduce everything, let's say he reduces to 20, 10 or whatever percent, and then the token starts scaling, he's going to get left behind. So it kind of puts him on the rope a little bit to make sure he holds, where the 70% creates more, I would say, incentive for the community, because if the community does go, let's say the community holds 70% of the coins or whatever, and that coin starts to go up, it's going to be more beneficial to them versus the admin. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I just feel like there should be some sort of happy medium. I don't think 50-50 is good enough. I do think that admin should hold minority stake versus the community. That's just my opinion. I've seen a lot of people with the opposite, because I'm a believer in DeFi. I think decentralized finance, where no one entity holds the majority of tokens. I like that doctrine better than the bullshit I see in the sector, where the sector feels that coins where the admin holds 80% or more is a good place to trade. I don't think it's a good place to get wrecked. That's kind of my perspective on that. Does that mean that the admin is malice or he's bad or he's scamming? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. The point of the matter is, as an investor, you should know that, so that way you don't go in there 30 days after the coin just launched. You see what I'm saying? Like, I always tell a lot of people, wait 3 to 5 years before even touching a fucking project, because that gives the admin proper time to decentralize the marketplace. It gives the admin proper time to produce a fucking product or produce results. And, let's say you go into there, you go 3 years in and you're like, nothing's here, nothing's happened. Okay, well, you just got a big answer ahead of time. You see what I'm saying? Is there higher risk at the beginning? And then if you're someone that wants to hold for 10 years, 8 years, then yeah, there's opportunity for massive, massive growth, but more than likely it's not going to happen, because projects are like small companies. You have to think about it. Like, all startups, whether you're talking from a business standpoint or from a crypto aspect, 95% of them fail. Okay. Does it mean they're scams? No. It just means that they failed. Okay. 95% of companies or crypto projects, they fail. Okay. Not because they're bad people, but just because it's a hard thing to do. Startups cost a lot of money. Startups cost a lot of time and energy, So we do have to give these admins credit for fucking stepping up to the plate to try. I'm never going to fucking disrespect somebody for trying. You tried and you failed. Fuck it. I hear you 100%. I eat my losses all the fucking time. It is what it is. That's what being an investor is about, but at the same time, when you have that gauge, that 3 to 5 year gauge, it's going to solve so many fucking problems. Okay. And let me tell you how this solved a huge problem. Let's use core as an example. You have core 1, core 2, and core 3. Okay. You have to hold on to Solo to get X core. So that way you get your IOU for the new coin that's going to be minted on Cosmos. You're fucked, and we have to wait till this third coin comes out for a new centralized marketplace. And mind you, core was just minted a year ago. This is why when you have a gauge of 3 to 5 years, it solves so many problems, because maybe core will actually be bullish, but 3 years after his final and third mint on Cosmos, okay? It'll be bullish 3 years after that, after they get annihilated for the decentralization process, and then it might be an opportunity. Not now. So again, this goes back into a lot of these other projects that have migrated or done other dumb shit within 1 year or 2 years or 2.5 years. The 3 to 5 year principle is a gauge. You don't have to use it pinpoint, but it's a good gauge because it does solve a lot of issues when you do it that way. When I first got into crypto, I used to be a guy that would see something brand new just pop out. A lot of pizzazz, a lot of marketing happening. It's just coming out. There's a pre-sale and this is about to drop and this is the greatest thing ever. I can't wait to buy it as soon as it comes out. Well, I was the fucking first person to be like, yeah, let me get in there first, I got in there first and I got fucking annihilated several times before I figured it out, where I was like, something, I think it's fucking stupid to get into a project 15 days after launch, because unless your time frame, if your time frame is like 5 years, 3 years, sure, that's okay. But if you're expecting 1 year, 2 year, 3 year growth, it's not going to happen. These are startups. They are going to burn money for a little bit. But after they burn money for a little bit, they're going to get to that stage where they have products or they finished what they need to do or whatever. That's typically what's supposed to happen. But within that 3 year, 4 year period, if it's been in existence, you should have a good, clear, vision that it's real at that point, So, and personally, me, look, unless you really believe in them, that's perfectly fine too. But, I feel like, if after 3 years, or if they, you come into a project and they've been around for 3 years or 4 years, or they've been around for 5 years, that's bullish. Even if there's no price action in the chart, because they're still here. They have been here for 3 years. They have been here for 4 years or 5 years. They've been here through 2 different bear cycles. And this is why I kind of get upset with people that don't believe in Bluezo yet. I think Bluezo is going to be a monster this coming cycle. There is no doubt in my mind. It's a 500 million coin cap on supplies. Great use case, Web3, GameFi. I love it. I think it's going to do really well. But people sit there and they say, oh, but Dion hasn't gone up through the moon yet, Who cares? It's been here, though. It has last. There's a lot of companies that were mainstream picks that will never exist again. They are dead, okay? But you have a company here that has been around. I think this whole mentality of like, oh, if it's brand new, it's bullish. If it's brand new, it's bullish. Well, no, I think you should wait for those motherfuckers over there to prove that they're committed to this market, to prove that they're going to build something, to prove that they're going to be here for a few years, not just because it's a bull cycle. That's what you need to be looking for. Look for people that have shown to be here more than one bear cycle, more than one bull cycle, because we need committed ass people to build this sector. That's what you need. Committed ass people to get scraped, get hurt, get fucked up, but still continue to stay committed and driven to continue building through success or failure, building and building and building. That's what you need. That, to me, the person that goes through those things, the person brave enough to dare to do something, I want to believe in those people. I don't want to believe in the guy that's fucking all nice and pretty out of nowhere and says, give me all your money. I got 100 on-ramps and no product. That's what's funny. I did a ballot the other day where I was like, what's more bullish? A company that has 100 on-ramps, no product, or a company that has 1 on-ramp and 1 product? And there was like one person that said 100 on-ramps, no product. And then mostly everybody voted for 1 on-ramp, a bunch of products, or 1 product. But what's funny is, even though I saw people vote for the right answer, that's not the way they invest. That is not the way they invest. They sit there and say, oh, but Dion, you got this listing and this listing and this listing, and it's listed here, it's listed here. Well, what's the product? What's the service? Some quantum storage thing, some bullshit, It has a Microsoft partnership. Okay, well, what can you use on that? I don't know. like it really is this way. So that's why I'm always telling people, it's like, look for a real business, and I get some businesses got to get to that level, and that's good too. You're going to go from fetus to grown, you know what I mean? And that's good. However, when it comes to the now, or when it comes to investing, you want to invest in what will be here tomorrow, not what's going on today, but, the same time, you could kind of get an idea where the priorities are. If the admin only has priorities to get on ramps and this and that, that's the same to me as saying a business is busy buying cash registers nonstop and there's no fucking products or service. Does that make sense? If you were to go to a fucking store and it's empty, but it has 10 cash registers, it could take your dog coin, it could take your Bitcoin, it could take your cash, it could take your yuan, your ruble, your euro, your pound. It has all these cash registers all over the place. And you're like, oh, this is amazing. I could pay with fucking any one of my cards. What do you got to sell? Well, this is all we got. But this is how people invest in the crypto sector. This is literally how they invest. This is how backwards motherfuckers are. So, unfortunately, I have to be the douchebag that brings it up. But if I don't say it, no one is going to say it. So, this is what's funny to me about the crypto sector and a lot of these yo-yos. This is not development. What's development is fucking products and services and software that you could use every day. Provable, viable. Not just saying, oh, we have quantum enterprise this and that. What is the product or the service that me and you could use every day? Because crypto is not supposed to just be for enterprise. Crypto was not invented for corporations. It was invented P2P, motherfuckers. It's been invented for peer-to-peer transactions to eliminate these corporations from being the middleman. Yet, the crypto sector thinks it's bullish, like CoinDesk and the rest of these other yo-yos. They think it's bullish that PayPal is coming in. They think it's bullish that Cash App is coming in. What happened? What happened? It's like self-custody nobody cares about. It's like P2P nobody cares about. We have this obsession with corporations. We have this obsession with worshiping these mega corporations to legitimize products and services that are greater than what they got. We need to go back to ground level and support small businesses. Corporations killed our country. They killed our people. They made both the husband and the wife have to go to work. They needed two providers now where your children are becoming the children of the state versus the mom becoming the mother or the father becoming the father. But everybody invests in favor of corporate middlemen. They invest in favor of 10 cash registers and no fucking products. How do you call yourself an American when you continuously think or feel that things should be free when business needs to make money? This is what I don't get. See, Americans aren't American. Americans aren't patriotic. They're becoming communist. They're becoming people that want to freeload. That's what we want. Yet we don't want the catch-22 of this. We want all these things, and at the same time, we don't want to work. We want all these things, but at the same time, we want rights. Do you want rights and the ability to get whatever you want? Or do you want no rights and do you want shit to be provided to you at the minimal? Because the person that's going to dictate the minimal is not what you live today. It's going to be less. It's going to be less than what you have today. You have an administration right now propagating to the people at the worst time for communism. Okay? We have people in high powers communicating communism right now over anything else when we have the biggest wealth gap in the nation in all history. We have more rich or we have very small amount of people that have money and a big wealth gap of people that are in poverty. And you have an administration saying we need wealth distribution because that's what it is. You cannot get the things that they want to, what they propagate to you without wealth distribution. And they're propagating to a big population that is a massive gap in poverty versus the rich. And we have elections in a year. We're in the most dangerous times ever in this nation. And people have no idea. If people are so asleep to where we're at. We're in the most dangerous place ever. And nobody is fucking listening. Nobody's fucking paying attention. And, it's going to hit people in the face. What's crazy about a lot of these corporations that are trying to get into crypto and trying to get custody of your assets, they're selling crypto to people and then retaining the asset on their platform. So PayPal could sell you Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin stays there. You know, this is what's fucked up. And but what's funny is, like, you know, you see these media companies that are bought out by the same corporations propagate to the sector. They say, oh, we need adoption, we need this, we need that. No, you actually don't. But, you know, it keeps going back to this. We need them. We need these corporations, you know, because it makes it more bullish that PayPal is here and that this company is here, you know, when the whole point has always been P2P. So, you know, we're going well off track of where we should be as a crypto sector. And I think a lot of us that are real about this should start talking about the fact that PayPal and these corporations putting their hands on our assets or selling these assets is a problem. You know, so let's get back to the basics. Let me kind of keep going. Vision, people are crazy not to be buying this dip. ABT solo to the moon, absolutely. Vision says, people, listen to this guy. I've been snorkeling too. Fucking A, I'll be snorkeling too if I didn't find Dion. Absolutely. You know, we do a pretty good job, guys. I feel like we really do. MYC forever. Absolutely. John says, are we live? We are live, sir. Scott Spencer says, I found the titty channel inside of OddApp. Good for you, sir. Gangster says, legend. Raul Black is in the house. What up, bro? We're actually going to have another interview with Raul Black, but we're going to have a panel. It's going to be me, him, and then I think 2 other guys. So be on the lookout for that. I'll be announcing that in January, but it'll be fun. Tumok says, preach, my G. Low Wank says, y'all are shrimp. Fuck, I'm still a plankton. Damn. Where were you, bro? Vision, fucking legend. Whales goals with MYC. AU Crypto Silver says, but Dion, are you still bullish on EQ? I am very bullish on EQ. I still like it. Christoph says ABT and LCX, DID and tokenized securities are the future. Absolutely. Ask Larry Finkel himself. I believe so. And that's why I'm bullish on Solo too. LCX is definitely going to be a big play. Guys, I really don't think you should miss that. You know, it's the first time we had called that was back in the day about 2 cents, and it's at 4 cents right now. It's a nice pick for later, and I think it'll do very well with the scrutiny around the centralized exchanges, which is still fucking stupid to me, because it's like, you know, if we had the same scrutiny that we do for these crypto exchanges that we did on our own banks, there would be a bank run today. They don't have here's what's funny. We sit there and we tell these exchanges, you need to have 1 for 1, or else you're not doing the right thing. You're robbing people. You're robbing people, innocent investors, if you're not 1 for 1. Okay, well, if that's the logic you got, then these banks are fucking robbing us. They're robbing us every day, 100x more, because they don't even have an ounce of the reserve that is on the screen. You know, this is what's funny about the crypto sector. You have people that they're so like literally illiterate to the point where they think that crypto sector is just by itself. And it's like, no, it's not. It's the crypto sector is tied to everything else. And if you have scrutiny for the crypto sector, you should have that same scrutiny everywhere else. That way you can understand what you have. You see? Bart says, still bullish on Moby? No, I'm not, sir. You know, David Gobad said that he was migrating, and I saw that Cyrus quit or something like that. So I'm not interested in that project anymore. And that's like literally a year late. So guys, look, more than anything, don't be a dumbass. Make sure that you stay up to date on your own positions. That's your job. You know, you got to pay attention to that project and what updates are happening, because for instance, like this guy, he just says, what's going on with Moby? A year ago, almost a year and a half ago, this guy talks about a migration, and then a bunch of other dumb shit happens. Is it bullish still? Fuck no, it's not bullish now. You know, that's what's funny. A pick could be a good pick forever. But if the admin comes out and ruins the best idea that he had, he's going to screw up everything. So again, it's the same thing as stocks, same thing as crypto. It could be a forever pick, but if the admin comes out and says he's going to get a divorce or fucking some dumb shit is happening, why would you stay there? And why are you asking about something a year old? this is like, to be honest with you, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. Give me one sec. Farshad says, good afternoon, family. Do smash that like button, please, everyone. Thank you, Farshad. Glad to be here among friends. Absolutely, sure. Noah says free education here. Thanks, Dion. Absolutely, sir. Farshad says, I am only buying XRP and Solo because I believe. Absolutely. I think as long as Solo stays where it is, I think it'll do a good job. However, I am a little bit worried about Bob Ross. He's been kind of fucking stupid lately. And, he continues to make bad mistakes. And to be honest, he's making me not, want to be there long term. I am going to be there for a little bit. I do think Solo will do well. However, I am worried based on his other movements about what he has in mind for Solo in the long term, so those are just certain things that are my worry. I do think that whole core bullshit is an absolute tragedy waiting to happen. A lot of people don't understand they're going to get rugged by a triple migration and they don't even understand what's happening, but it's okay. But I do think Solo will do well. I do think we have a nice pump that will be coming up here shortly. I'm hoping for one anyways. But again, for me, it's not going to be a long term just based on what's going on. At some point, I just get tired and I want to move on. But we do have a lot of people that still like those things, guys. So again, look, what's nice about MYC is I have my opinions, but my community is allowed to have their opinions too. So, that's just how I feel. But, you guys do you. Everyone has their own bet to make, and keep in mind, there's been times where I miss, I'm still human. But this one I'm going to miss out on long term for sure. But I do like where it's going. I think, I told people on Twitter this today. I was like, look, Q1 sucks for crypto. Sucks. So, we have probably till like the end of January to see some cool shit happen. And if we don't see anything happen, I'm not going to stick around. But if we get an opportunity for some nice multipliers, I'm going to be happy, happy for everybody, But, if Feb and March, I'm very, very worried about, we're going to start feeling the recession damage from all this year, the next 6 months. So, be ready, be prepared. Tuntu says, let's go. Lo Wang says, Dion for president. Thank you, sir. DeFi Mela says, I'm only buying meme coins 2023. Don't forget. Absolutely. Lo Wang says, I have 200K ABT. We'll need more. I consider myself a plankton. Can I use all my Christmas gift cards to buy more crypto? Absolutely, sir. Or you could join OddApp. DeFi Mela says, don't get caught smoking cock, motherfuckers. Don't forget. Absolutely, sir. Don't get caught doing that. In fact, just don't do it. It doesn't matter getting caught or not, unless you're one of our nice finance bitches out there. Don't forget. Daniel says legend. Absolutely. So, forecast wise, I do want to bring up a couple things. Let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar fell to 103.49 on a downtrend. And I don't think it's going to get back up, to be honest with you. I do think over the course of the next 6 months, we're going to get extreme volatility in the markets. Where I think we're going to get one more big crash between now and the next 6 months. But I do think that we're going to be in grounds for a reversal. And again, look, back to the bull cycle thing. Bull cycles do not just go sideways and then just go up and down and that's it. It happens over a course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever the case. You're not going to experience it if you're constantly in and out of the market. You're only going to experience that growth if you were to buy something today and let time appreciate the asset. So, a lot of people sit there and they say, oh, how come it hasn't gone up? Or, oh, this is not successful because, it didn't moon within 6 months or a year or whatever. You're not going to feel the real growth patterns if you don't hold it for long periods of time. You need to let time appreciate the asset. A lot of people in the crypto sector make this mistake. They want communities, or they want an influencer, or they want promotion or marketing to do the growth. This is why you fail. That's why you fail, because you're hoping on these external third-party sources to do this. And that's why you fail. You have to let time appreciate your assets. Let time do it. As the odd and new investor here, what's your view on mainstream pick like Matic? So Matic was, Matic has a lot of backing or whatever the case, but for me, I'm not bullish on it because I'm not bullish on it because like it doesn't have the same multipliers. It doesn't have the growth to risk ratio that I'm looking for. If let's say if if your goal is to collect at these prices, your goal is going to need to be, $10 to $20 Matic, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. So to me, Matic is not as bullish as it used to be, especially because 2.0 is out. And at the time, it was very popular because it was like the first layer 2 solution. So that's cool. But that was really popular at that time because it was the first of its kind. It was like that and one other company. I think it was it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. It's another layer 2 solution just like it. Loop Spring, LRC, I think, LRC. And that was another good company. I think that might do better as we go into the future instead of Matic because it has the growth to risk potential there, See, for me, I don't really care too much about anything other than the multiplier potential. So I'd really, really try to focus on that. Carlito's Wagon says, Happy New Year, Farshad. Yeah, absolutely. Happy New Year to a lot of you guys. I hope that you guys had a good Christmas with your family. I wanted to make sure I spent time with my family as well. And, I've been trying to focus more on trying to reserve time for family, but I just been working so much that, sometimes I feel like more like a robot than a human, and I think that, that hurts my family in certain ways too, but I really want to try to focus on having a little bit more balance. But, it's really hard, when you're an entrepreneur or when you're trying to build things, you get so obsessed in what you're trying to build. And it is hard to detach, so those are certain things that I have to work on as a human myself, so I really try to remember that. But, again, let's go back into where we're at here. So 103.50 is where the USD is right now. Sologenic right now is about 17 cents. And to be honest with you, at this growth rate, it could very easily pull a 1x fast at that 17-cent mark. You really think about it. Let's say if it goes to 30 cents, that is a 50% gain. So, you got to really think about that. If you were to get a 50% gain on $10,000, that's $5,000. See what I'm saying? Like, if you got a 50% gain on $1,000, that's $500. You see? So, like, when I take a look at Solo for where it's at for the price range and how much the price can be impacted by people buying at these levels, it could very well pull a 1x pretty fast, However, for me, I'm really, really focusing on this, between now end of January thing. I really don't want to be around too much in these saturated picks or mainstream picks at this time. I really want to make sure that I'm in futuristic picks, unsaturated, unpromoted, waiting 2 years type picks, And that to me is like Arc Block ABT. I like BLZ, LCX, PRQ. We were talking about Morpheus the other day. It's at $1, which is not too bad, but I would really rather see it at 50 cents or less if possible. We were also looking at Velo, and Velo might be something we're going to keep it on radar, but it's in the decimals now. And back in the day, it was like 30, 50 cents and stuff like that, So I'm going to keep my eye on that. And also TRAC, TRAC is something we were taking a look at too. There's a lot of different picks that we talk about. You guys will notice every video we have, we talk about probably over 15, 20 picks. But, I am very optimistic for the future, guys. I'm very optimistic for where we're going and how much we're building and stuff like that. And, I do think we're going to get a nice crunch between now and the next 6 months. But, I do think a lot of these Web3 companies are going to emerge at greater levels because a lot of the Web3 companies I've noticed have sustainable business models. They have a token to business model integration where there's a demand for volume for that product that's going to be bought or paid for using a token. So I do like a lot that these Web3 companies are geared for the future. A lot of the Web2 companies are just hyper marketing or partnerships and stupid shit like that, but they have no business model. There's nothing being sold, no service, no product, And what's funny is like, crypto sector, they sit there and they want companies like this, but they don't want to pay for them. That's what's funny, because what's going to create true scalability is not just investor interest. It's going to be consumer demand for that company's products or services. So, I try to remind people, like, these projects you're investing in, they're trying to become a business, and business is not free. So the communist attitude that a lot of the crypto investors have, about 95% of them, I don't know where it came from. It's like, you're not going to get an economy for free. And there needs to be a business model, so, there's just certain things I see in the sector that, I think people haven't grown up to yet, or understand what they're doing yet. They're just considering, they're consistently trying to make sure that it's just like, it's almost as if crypto communities rather play in Ponzi's than a company that's generating interest and token value, but this is going to be the future. You're going to want projects with a sustainable business model, because you can have a good idea, you can have a good product or service, but if there's not enough consumer demand, then, you don't have a sustainable model. So it's not enough to just have the partnerships. It's not enough to have the marketing or have the community. It's not enough for any of that. It's not going to make it. It's all Web 1, Web 2 bullshit, okay? What's going to make it in the future, real business models, service and product that creates demand for that token, and integration on it. And that's what's going to create true sustainable projects in the future. So really understand what I'm telling you, because 98% of projects out there right now do not have that. They don't have that. Nothing is being sold. They don't have a product or service to sell. They can sell tokens, but they have no product or service to sell. And there's nothing that's creating a demand for that. They're focused on saying, we have this on-ramp, we have this on-ramp, we got this and we got that. When are we going to start hearing projects say, hey, we got this to sell you? That is what the future will be. We need projects that come out and say, hey guys, we have this service or this product to sell you. Please come and consume with us. That's more or less what you need to hear for a real company, a real project. That's the future. Not, hey guys, we have a major announcement. We have institutional investors that want to purchase our token, and we have this on-ramp, and we have this listing going on, and this, and that. Well, what can I buy from you besides the token? Well, that's all we got. We have 10 cash registers that you could give us your money, but there's, that's what I'm talking about. And this is what's going to separate you guys from 100% losses in Web 2 projects and tremendous as gain in Web 3 projects. Sustainable business models. Okay. DeFi Mela says, but Dion, we're not here for the tech. Guys, unfortunately, I've been converted into somewhat of a builder. Robert Mao has, changed me in a lot of different ways. I am here for the tits, there's no doubts, but, I'm becoming more and more here for the tech, and it wasn't like this before. I've done a lot of internal growing myself. I've done a lot of personal growth myself. I can't stay the same person forever, but as I continue learning from mentors like Robert Mao or anybody else that are reputable and all that stuff, and it's not for clout, it's just, these are people that are major real players, and I want to learn from these guys so I could become better. There's a lot of different things that all of us should focus on as we go into the next year. Carlitos Wagon says, I like ICP, but it's a guaranteed dip the second I buy it. Yeah, ICP, everyone knows it's a good pick, but it's just like the bottomless bottom. And guys, I'm very good at catching bottoms. I really am. But ICP is just tainted. It's just, no matter what, it's the dippity dips, dippity dip. I cannot ever catch the bottoms. I thought I caught the bottom on it at 375, and then it dippity dipped again. It's just, it's just one of those things. I think it'll do good eventually in the long run. It's Web3. I think they could do great things. I would like to see what they're selling though, product and service though. If there's no product or service to sell, then it is what it is. The only thing that a lot of these layer ones have offered us in regards to creating something to sell is NFTs. That's as far as it goes, but we need a better breed, of more than just NFTs. That doesn't make sense. You need a real product. See, here's what I like about ArcBlock. Okay, ArcBlock has servers to sell, and on those servers, you could run X amount of applications on them. So I bought a blocklet recently, so I have a server on ArcBlock now. I own it. I have a Discuss forum that I made. I built that. It's super easy. But in order for me to own the server, I had to buy it, and I have to renew my service for that server once a quarter, so 4 times a year. I have to pay an ARC block to get it, and it's relatively cheap right now, but eventually it'll be expensive. But you think about it, one server for 3 months that will run wild speed for 8 applications. It cost, I think it was $2.99 ABT. And that's $30. It's very cheap and inexpensive. You can make your own website, your own domain, own NFTs. You could have a Photoshop NFT maker on it. You could create your own Discuss forum. Technically you could basically make your own server, like almost like not like Discord, but like more like Facebook type of design. You could do a lot of varieties. I did one. I already made the Discuss forum. I posted it the other day on Twitter. I'm trying to help with the DID monsters project that they got going on. I think it's fun, and one of our artists is going to hop on that. Robert Mao is backing it, so I like the fact that we got one of our artists, a job. That's awesome. That's what we're about. We want to make sure that you guys make money too, and you guys do well. And if my connections can open that to you guys, that's what I'm here for. I want you guys to be able to get work. That's what this is about, creating a new digital economy. And, a lot of our guys are sharp. They're smart. They got talents and skills, and they're not dead fish. They're not fucking zombies. And if they see an opportunity to make money, they're going to go do it, and that's what this artist did. He does CGI. He's a great, great guy and full blown patriot. I really like him. And, I support him. And if Robert Mao is going to back him, I'm going to back him too. So, he's going to be doing, a NFT project called Fosse's Lab. And basically you collect X amount of DID monsters. And after you collect like 5 or 10 or something like that, he'll craft you a 3D mint structure of whatever monster that you want from your collection. So you'll get a 3D print of the monster he creates. And it's pretty cool. I like the monsters. They look pretty scary, but I think it's pretty cool, But again, I got this, I got the blocklet, but every quarter you have to pay, an ABT to continue that service of that server, and you could continue creating whatever you want or whatever. But what's nice about the server is you could literally sell your server. I could sell my server if I want, or I could allow access for other people to use that server. There's a variety of different things. If I create a software on it, or if I create an app on it and it's universal for everybody to use, then I could post it inside of DID wallet. And then if people use it, then I could monetize that. Like there's a lot of different things that you could do with these blocklets. So, and it's a business model because I could generate revenue from this product that I'm purchasing from ArcBlock, but they got a product and I bought it. I bought their product and I own it now. So I have it and now I could monetize it. And that's the point. That's a real project because it has a product and it has a service to sell. That's the point. But if you're looking at some stupid ass project that has all this hype and you can't purchase anything with what the token is, then what are you doing? So that's why, I tell people, like, when you're looking at these projects to not have this Web 2 mentality, look at the projects that are going to be futuristic, that are going to last. The people that are selling something, they're selling a product or a real service. Like, how do you expect the token marketplace to be sustainable if the company is not producing and capturing value? See, that's why it's funny when I hear people sit there and they're like, they have this mentality, they want everything for free. And it's like, Sir, are you a communist? But it's like people forgot. It's like people forget. Like these are projects. They're supposed to be companies, and these companies need to sell a product or service to be a business. So clearly, they're not going to be free. So this is but for some reason, we have this sector that is oblivious to these things. This is weird. Um, DeFi Mela says, but Dion, you promised us 12-to-1 ratios. No, we did not promise drugs in Panama. I said no tops in Panama. Ace Killjoy says, oh man, I'm late to the live. Obscure Warrior says, how can non-coders build on ArcBlock? So what's nice about ArcBlock, and guys keep in mind, look, I'm not a representative of ArcBlock. I just really like the project, and I'm a customer of ArcBlock now. So, and let me take that back. Robert Mao did say that he would be open to doing something with us project-wise on ArcBlock for 2023. So we'll see. See what happens. I'm down. I'm always down. So anyways, you don't have to be a coder and you don't have to be a developer or anything like that to use ArcBlock. You could be brand new to crypto and brand new to any of that stuff and utilize ArcBlock, get a DID wallet, and you could go purchase a server. And then what's cool about it is when you purchase a server, ArcBlock assigns you 2 engineers. So once you get your blocklet, you get assigned 2 engineers by ArcBlock that you get for 90 days, the term of service for the server. And they'll teach you how to use the blocklet and what you could build. And you could say, hey, I want to build this or I want to build that, and they'll help you do it. That's fucking awesome. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, what project does that? No project is going to sell you a product. First off, you need ABT to purchase the product, or you could buy it with cash, whatever. But then you get service on top of that. And now you get to learn how to build on the ArcBlock. That's awesome. So, I think that this is something that's not seen before. It's, you have to be cool with them or, whatever, like the way they have it set up now with projects is you have to be actively involved. You need to be involved in what they're doing in order to work with them and be a developer on their team, all that shit. It's not exactly open sourced. ArcBlock is open source because anybody could buy the product and then anybody could get assigned the engineers and they'll help you. So it's open source. You don't need to call Robert Mao and be like, hey, Robert, I need your help. Can I work over there? No, you could be a normal average person, no connection, purchase the product, and then use the service and build something, and anybody can do it. That's real everyday use case that is good, So I think that a lot of projects going into the future, I think we should really hammer in on these companies that give you something like me and you, people at our level, can use. Okay. Crypto wasn't meant just for enterprise. It was actually to kill enterprise. It was for P2P, peer-to-peer transactions. It's for us, for people on ground level. And for some reason, we keep worshiping, all these mega corporation conglomerates like we need them and we don't, So, these are just little pet peeves I see in the sector. You could build discuss forums. You could build an NFT platform. So like, how you guys or how we use OpenSea. All right. So we use OpenSea to sell our NFTs, right? So instead of using OpenTees or Rarible, what if I told you you could build your own marketplace and you own your marketplace and you don't pay a tax to OpenSea? You don't pay a tax to Rarible. You own the marketplace and you own your store and you own your fucking NFT. You own everything. See, that's what's cool about Web3, because Web3, you're not going to have to pay some, random platform to host that service. That's what more or less what I like about this, because you get to have ownership of whatever you create than software itself. So if you made your own software NFT marketplace, you own that software. You see what I'm saying? So you could create an NFT marketplace, and let's say you put it open source and everybody can use your marketplace to sell NFTs. You become OpenSea and you become Rarible. That's the point. So, this is what I think a lot of people are missing about Web3. They sit there and talk about Web3, and then they're like, what do I own? You don't own shit, you know? Um, they charge for the engineers? No, they don't. They charge for the server. So the server is the reoccurring service, and you pay for that service quarterly. Obscure Warrior says, wait, you could build NFTs on ArcBlock without being an artist and shit, or just, yeah, you could be, I mean, well, all right. So there's an NFT maker app that you could, once you get the server, you could get the NFT maker and it'll make NFTs for you. So if you have a idea or image that you want to put in there and stuff like that, it'll customize it, or, you know, it'll do little things. What's kind of cool about it is it actually looks like Photoshop. It almost looks like Photoshop the way it works. Like you could add like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 layers and, you know, switch up colors, edit, you know, it really looks like Photoshop the way it works, you know, so you could do a lot of cool little things with it when it comes to NFTs, and it's faster, way faster. You know, so that's just one particular thing, but keep in mind, that's just, you know, the very minimal. You know, you could create a DeFi exchange off of ArcBlock. You can make protocols out of ArcBlock. I mean, there's so many things you could do. So that's what's nice about ArcBlock. You could just create different things. Rashad says, I'm hoping for the Republicans to take care of Gary Guzler come January. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't think, I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, I just think that both parties are corrupt. I think we need full sweeps, no bloodlines. And, you know, we need to personally rise a party that doesn't recognize the political system or its voting process. That's what I think we need. Because what we have is a fucking hoax, complete fucking hoax, you know? So that's just me. That's just my opinion, you know? You know, I don't want to extreme you guys at all, but, you know, but that's personally how I feel. You know, I feel like we need a third rising party that does not recognize the current state or the voting system at all. It should just recognize itself and then start going. That's it. And then continue growing as fast as far as possible as a, more as an amendment right, you know, and keep it rolling as big as it can, you know, until you know, there's so many little things, you know, but again, you know, as long as it's run by constitutional purposes, you know, that's good. Yeah. But besides that, let's talk about Morpheus real quick. So Morpheus is $1. It is 37 million is in circulation right now. Total cap on it is 47.8 million coin cap. Very, very small supply. You know, we did pretty well on that back in the day. OG pick. I think Dave actually called that one back in the day. But that's a pretty good one that we did well on. I would like to see 25 cents or 50 cents, to be honest, but we'll see as we head into March where it's at. But, you know, there is a ton of picks, guys, brand new ones that I pinned inside of OddApp. So if you go to the crypto channel in OddApp, you click on the pin section, it'll show all the different picks that we have on radar if you want to take a look at them and do your own research and do your thing from there. But I'm going to be adding a bunch of OG ones and also some newer ones that we found that some of our newest odd members have added. So, you know, don't forget, guys, right now, OddApp is live. We just did a major update. All the messaging is razor sharp and fast. So don't forget, it's on Google and Apple mobile devices along with tablets if you want a bigger screen. And we still have more updates and more features to add as we build this out. So, you know, it's pretty awesome where we're at. And I hope to see a lot of you guys in there. And for a lot of you shrimp out there, guys, look, if you take a look at your portfolio right now, chances are you're negative 23 USD anyways. So we would love to see you guys on OddApp. I don't want to hear any excuses. So Ace Killjoy says, yes, hang motherfuckers for treason. Don't ever forget these bankers can't be trusted as far as you could throw the holy donkey, David Schwartz. That is correct, Ace Killjoy. That is correct. Fashad says third party incoming, best believe. God damn it, Fashad, you're going to make me bullish. Fancy Pants says, Dion's looking sharp. Wish I could play a game of polo. Absolutely, sir. I cannot play a game of polo. I just like the shirts. So, you know, but guys, look, it's always awesome to talk to each and every one of you. I'm going to continue placing some data and some news onto the Discord private channel for you guys, for the remaining guys that are left. Also, guys, I'm still there to DM directly. It's not like I just vanished, okay? So you can message me directly on there if you have any questions or if you have something for me to review. But besides that, you know, I will see you guys on OddApp. That is where MYC community goes. That is where our conversations are now being held, okay? So don't forget, we want to see you guys on OddApp. Keep supporting small businesses. Guys, we're one of the only communities, if not the only community, to produce software. Okay. It is software. We developed and produced software on Apple and Google. No community has done this to this level. No one has ever. We are on our own goddamn platform. Okay. Understand that. We built something. It is amazing. It is on Apple. It is on Google. And how many naysayers have said that we are nothing? And now we could tell them, oh, really? Why don't you look at your fucking phone and you tell me what you got and what they built? So, guys, let's continue outperforming the entire sector. Let's continue being light years ahead of this sector, because it doesn't matter that you have 10K audience, 100K, or a million. There is a big difference between success here at MYC and failure. That is the entire crypto sector that I've seen out there. Okay. So we do hope that we see a lot of our good friends out there. We hope that a lot of you guys take advantage of OddApp, take advantage and keep supporting our development. We want to continue outperforming. And again, guys, for those of you that are just spectators, we love you guys too. We're happy that you're here to learn from us or hear from us, stuff of that nature. I support a lot of you. Shout out to Fashad, Fancy Pants as well. I see a lot of you guys on Twitter having fun. And, to be honest with you guys, I love the energy of Fashad. He really has a warm demeanor, and I really like how he is, so if you do see him on Twitter, definitely give him a follow. But guys, just keep up the good fight. We know what's right, we know what's wrong, and let's continue to be better. And also let's have forgiveness in our hearts for a lot of the other people out there. We've had a lot of people that didn't believe in us before come back to us and apologize to us, or give us credit where it's due. And I respect that, and I respect those people as well. So I do ask a lot of you guys, the ones that have turned around and started to show support for us now, to be nice to some of these people out there. I don't want you guys constantly being mean to everybody at the whim. Okay. I don't want to be that type of community. I want to continue pushing for unity. And, my resolution for this year going forward is to be the nicest I've ever been. Last year I said I was going to be nicer, and I feel like I have, and I was nicer. But this coming year, I want to really focus on bettering myself and bettering our community, and making sure that our community wears a badge strongly for how smart and how futuristic we are. But also, I want to keep our comedy going. I want to make sure that we continue to have a laid back approach, and how easy we make it look. Not everybody could have comedy and be as educated as us, so let's continue that perspective, and let's keep showing people who we are. A lot of people have lied and said bad things about a lot of you guys that it's silly, but it's competition. I get it, but at the end of the day, though, let's be the bigger people and continue doing better. We have already proven ourselves 100x, guys. So the war has already been won. Okay, the battle's over. So at this point, what I want our community to focus on is unifying, unity, and making sure that we treat others with respect. Let's be nicer to people. And let's try to accept feedback with an open mind. And I say that to myself as well. I want to try to be a little bit more open-minded and try to become a better person myself, as we go forward. But let's continue working on each other and what we could do for the future. Okay, guys, because we're real builders now. We're real builders. We're actually in the software development sector. We are not at any level that's been seen here on YouTube. We are now part of the sector. We are software developers, software company, and we've made it. So the war is done. Now it's time to unify, bring people in, and let's start focusing on helping others do better for themselves too. Because if we could help other people, then we can make the market a better place too. So that can be done with the right education, but education cannot be delivered if we're impatient. Okay, we have to stay patient with other people. I know that a lot of people don't have your best interests out there, or they're just mean, or whatever fuck. But let's try to remain patient, and let's try to unify as much as possible, and keep rolling it. Okay. So congratulations also to Core, if it hit 50 cents and all that. I'm not bullish on it. I really don't like Core, because no matter what happens to the marketplace, today, it's not going to be the same marketplace whenever they switch over twice. So, again, I'm not interested too much in core, but I will say congratulations to our members that took advantage of the 3x multiplier and then switched it over to solo for a 5x potential, because it's scary to buy 50 cent for only what, 2x to a dollar versus 5x to a dollar with solo. So for those of you that take advantage of that 3x into solo for a 5x multiplier potential, I think that's a smart move. So I congratulate a lot of you guys. Yeah, and Core Marshall, I do respect Core Marshall as well. He says, I know, bro, anyways, I'm still following you the whole way. Yeah, thank you, bro. And again, look, perfect example. A lot of our members don't share the same opinion as me, but they're allowed to have different opinions. That's the best part about NYC. We have so many different picks. There's some things that I don't agree with. And there's some picks that it's mixed match, and that's the way it should be, really. I shouldn't see, it's a problem if the entire community likes one thing. I think that's dangerous, and I think that's wrong. So it's good to have diversity or diverse portfolios, because at least you don't get an echo chamber. You get to learn about different shit. So, but again, for a lot of you guys out there, I will be more nicer. I'm going to be the nicest I've ever been. I'm trying to make sure that I do better for you guys and I do better for the sector. I've done a lot of growing myself, and I'm really happy with a lot of what Robert has taught me. He's really changed my perspective on a lot of different things. So, I do want to continue being better for you guys too. D5 Mela says it's $5.89 for life. Don't forget. Crypto Next says download the app. I'm on the way. Absolutely, guys. So, guys, look, if you haven't got on, again, OddApp is where MYC community builds. That's where we congregate. I would love to see you guys. It's 23 USD a month. It is subscription based. It does not mine your data. It doesn't harvest your data. We don't sell your data to third parties. There's no screenshots allowed. Data cannot be uploaded out of it or anything like that. It's highly secure, private, and encrypted. So it is like a secret agent type of app. Okay. So a lot of people love that about that app because, Discord communities, they're front ran on their trades, or, they're spied on, or, screenshotted, misrepresented. There's a lot of dumb shit that happens on different groups out there like Telegram or Discord and all that stuff, including what happened to poor BitBoy on that swatting event. I mean, there's a lot of dumb shit that happens. So, it is safer and better for us to keep growing and have our own platform on OddApp. So I do ask that you guys support us. And for our other members out there, support our development and keep supporting us as a small business too. OddApp is on Google for your phone and or tablet, and it's also on Apple too. Guys, this is a tremendous accomplishment that's never been done. So keep supporting us and what we do here and what we could do for other people. I know a lot of you guys have been with us since day one, and I want to see you there. So Core Marshall says, thanks to this pump, I'm already sitting on 83,000 solo. Holy sh! That's good, man. That's exactly what you should be doing. So good job. But I do not think it's a good entry point at 50 cents. I'll tell you that. But I will I will talk to you guys in the app, and then we'll go from there. But it's always good to talk to you guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streaming as we get into January, because we're going to be going into a full marketing campaign across all social media platforms. And I'm going to focus on working and building MYC community 100x what it is today. So we are now at that point. So now we're at expansion point. So guys, be ready for extreme growth. For all my OGs, my day ones that are on OddApp today, I'm going to be working on trying to implement a feature for our day ones. Okay. You're going to need to take a test in order to be considered a day one. So I'm going to be putting together a list of different things that only a day one would know. And the only ones that pass that test are going to be given a trademark. Okay. I'm going to give you guys an OG mark inside of OddApp for our day ones. I'm going to be working on that. So, give me time on it, but I'm going to get it done. And we're going to go from there. So, guys, let's continue working and building this out. I'm excited for what we can do. So, clearly we can accomplish anything, right? Damn it, I failed already. Absolutely. But it'll be fun, but again, look, the real OGs would have the NFT. It would have like that OG NFT with tits on it, to be honest with you. But I'm trying to give you guys a chance. So we'll see, we'll see. But guys, I do want to see you guys on OddApp. Whenever we do voice conferences, guys, voice conferences will only be at 9 p.m. EST. I found that that's just happens to be the best time for everybody. So we will do voice conferences at 9 p.m. EST. I will announce them. There's nothing planned right now. Too many people got things going on. So come January, we're going to be full campaign. So, expect high growth in our community at that time as we go forward into 2023. But, also anticipate a lot more things to be happening. We're going to get a lot. We have several different admins from different projects on OddApp that want to have a voice conference, that want a stage. I'm going to give them a stage talk. And also, we have different developers and engineers that have data and talents to share with us that I want them to talk about on stage too. So when we do voice conferences, guys, make sure that your mics are muted, because when I have these leaders, okay, these are leaders that are outside of MYC coming in, okay, let's show them respect and let's give them our undivided attention, especially when they're trying to teach us about how to create successful online companies or successful development or software or whatever the case. Okay, guys, Robert Mao is going to spend time with us on the 15th. CEO of Byte Storage will be here on the 6th. And then we also, and shout out to my 82nd Airborne out there. I gathered 5 of them, and I'm going to give them a voice conference stage so that way they could talk to us about their adventures and what they've done with their lives. We have a lot of these guys that have retired just recently last cycle that want to talk to us about what they've done and what they're planning on building as they go forward and stuff like that. So I want to give our veterans some space for stage on that. So that'll be really cool to hear from a variety of our different 82nd Airborne that are within our network. So that'd be cool. So, I really want to hear what, I'm going to kind of let them, do their thing. So we'll see what happens. That'll be fun. Ace Killjoy says, win cheat sheet. Yeah, exactly. But okay, guys, look, I love all of you. Thank you for your support. Let's continue building and keep making things better. And, I do wish the best for a lot of people out there that are in these picks that I think are going to do bad. So I will catch you guys on the next one.